My wife laughed loudly and asked me, in front of everyone, how it felt to survive 2 months without intimacy. The room chuckled, but I stayed silent. Then her male friend smirked and said, "Then what about last night?" My wife snapped at him, confused, shouting, "What are you talking about?" Silence exploded. Eyes shifted. Breaths paused. I didn't move. I didn't blink. I understood everything instantly. This wasn't an accident. It was arrogance slipping. They thought I was invisible, weak, replaceable. That moment didn't break me. It activated me. Every insult, every cold night, every disrespectful joke suddenly aligned like puzzle pieces. I realized I wasn't living in a marriage. I was living in a performance where loyalty was mocked and betrayal was casual. While everyone waited for my reaction, I chose silence. Because when a man stops reacting emotionally, it means he has started planning something permanent. That night, I didn't argue or demand explanations. I observed. I replayed years of my life with brutal honesty. Her sudden independence, her secretive phone habits, her cruel humor, her emotional distance. It was never stress. It was contempt. I became quiet on purpose. Silence made her careless. She underestimated me, mistaking patience for weakness. Over weeks, I documented everything. Messages, timelines, financial irregularities. Patterns don't lie when emotions do. I stopped loving her emotionally before she realized I knew the truth. She continued humiliating me publicly, enjoying control. That confidence became her downfall. I didn't want revenge. I wanted irreversible clarity. The more I learned, the colder I became. Love didn't die slowly. It ended instantly when respect disappeared. I wasn't angry anymore. I was focused. Betrayal hurts less when you accept reality instead of fighting it. I wasn't planning drama. I was preparing an ending she wouldn't escape from. The final confirmation came quietly. A shared location error placed her exactly where she claimed she'd never been. A receipt proved lies stacked on lies. One message, sent accidentally, erased any remaining doubt. This affair wasn't emotional confusion. It was deliberate, long-term, and shameless. Worse, the man was someone I trusted. Someone who shook my hand while sleeping with my wife. That betrayal hardened something inside me permanently. I stopped questioning myself. I stopped blaming circumstances. Cheating is not an accident. It is a repeated decision. I consulted lawyers silently, secured assets, protected evidence, prepared exits. She continued mocking me, unaware her safety net was disappearing thread by thread. People think endings come from explosions. They don't. They come from preparation. When everything was legally sealed, emotionally detached, and strategically aligned, I finally spoke. Not to argue. Not to forgive. To end it completely. What followed wasn't chaos. It was collapse. Hers. When I confronted her, I didn't raise my voice. I placed evidence on the table and said nothing. She laughed nervously, then denied, then cried. Excuses followed quickly. Loneliness, boredom, unmet needs. I listened calmly. When she finished, I told her the truth she never expected. I said betrayal didn't destroy our marriage. Her arrogance did. I informed her papers were already filed. Accounts separated. Lock scheduled to change. Her face drained. Control vanished instantly. She begged, threatened, apologized, and blamed me within minutes. None of it worked. I had already left emotionally. She realized too late that humiliation has consequences. She packed within 48 hours. No dramatic scenes. No shouting. Just reality hitting her hard. The power shift was brutal. For the first time, she wasn't laughing. She wasn't confident. She wasn't mocking me. She was scared. And fear is what people feel when consequences finally arrive. I walked away calmly, knowing silence had done more damage than rage ever could. After separation, I rebuilt quietly while her life unraveled publicly. The man she cheated with disappeared instantly, unwilling to commit when responsibility appeared. Friends distanced themselves once the truth surfaced. Lies don't survive daylight. Financial pressure crushed her independence. She tried contacting me repeatedly, but I never replied. Closure doesn't come from conversations. It comes from boundaries. Court proceedings finalized cleanly because I had prepared thoroughly. She lost stability, reputation, and trust simultaneously. I lost illusions. That trade was worth it. While she jumped between temporary solutions, I focused on structure. Discipline replaced chaos. Peace replaced confusion. People noticed my transformation and asked how I stayed calm. I didn't explain. Healing doesn't need validation. Watching consequences unfold didn't bring joy, it brought confirmation. Choices always collect interest. Her mocking laughter became isolation. Her confidence became desperation. I didn't destroy her life. She did. I simply stepped out of the way and let reality finish the job. Years later, my life stabilized completely. I valued silence, honesty, and emotional safety. I eventually met someone new, but this time I observed actions, not words. She never mocked vulnerability. She never disrespected boundaries. Trust formed slowly, intentionally. Meanwhile, my ex-wife struggled continuously. Unstable jobs, broken relationships, repeated attempts to rewrite her story. Accountability never arrived for her, and without it, growth was impossible. She reached out once more, apologizing genuinely. I accepted the apology internally but maintained distance. Forgiveness doesn't require access. My life no longer had room for disrespect disguised as familiarity. Betrayal refined my standards. I learned love isn't proven through suffering. It's proven through consistency. Losing her wasn't a loss. Losing myself would have been. That realization changed everything. Pain didn't weaken me. It sharpened me. I no longer feared being alone. I feared tolerating disrespect more. That fear kept me free. This true story doesn't end with revenge or shouting matches. It ends with consequences. My wife's ending wasn't dramatic. It was permanent. She lost trust everywhere she went. People remembered patterns even when she changed locations. I didn't need to expose her. Truth has patience. The real suspense wasn't discovering betrayal. It was choosing restraint over reaction. Her downfall came from arrogance, not my anger. My silence rewrote the power dynamic completely. She mocked loyalty and paid with isolation. I walked away with dignity intact. Betrayal doesn't destroy strong men. Tolerating it does. When someone disrespects you publicly, believe them privately. Leaving was my victory. Growth was my revenge. Peace was my reward. She remained trapped in cycles she refused to confront. I moved forward unburdened. This isn't just a cheating wife story. It's a warning. When respect dies, love becomes irrelevant. And when consequences arrive, they don't ask for forgiveness. They collect what's owed.